Click.
And now we wait for the tubes.
I've clicked it, though. I don't know, man. It's always sketchy. You never know.
And we're live. Took it a little bit. Not too much.
Say about 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there. I don't know.
That's usually the delay. At least when I'm streaming, that's usually the delay I get.
Yeah, I would definitely say your delay is... Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the pre-shows, and we're doing a warm-up, setting things up. Your delay is roughly for me to type something here in the studio and walk into the kitchen and see it on the TV.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, 3 to 5 seconds, somewhere in there.
Yeah. Unless, of course, YouTube decides to do that thing where for a full minute, it just doesn't show anything. I'm streaming. I can see that I'm streaming. OBS has got a little activity thing down at the bottom that says I'm streaming.
Yeah, I mean, then again, sometimes OBS just is simply not to be trusted as well because it'll, it's like, I'm streaming. I'm like, are you sure about that? And you go over and check the YouTubes, and YouTube's like, what are you talking about, bro? I'm going to stream over here, right?
Yeah, or it's YouTube just doing whatever it does every now and again that it decides, yeah, no, you are in fact sending things, and people are trying to watch it, and every now and again it'll blink, but it won't show up.
It's one of the beautiful things about having a free service is you can't complain.
Yeah. Indeed, it's alive.
It's terrifying. Oh, yes. See, Woody Harrelson. Which movie is this? It's failing.
Oh, that's the
Kingpin? No.
the Jennifer Lawrence one. That those book series that got turned into movies.
Oh, the Hunger Pains.
Yes, Hunger Games. Yes. Bunch of kids killing each other. Yes, more please.
And I legit tried to watch half of one of those. No.
I watched the first one and I'm like, this isn't terrible. Then I watched the other two. I'm like, yeah, the first one was good. These two, not so much. Yeah, no, it's by the end, it's just she's a hero. It's just like, no, it's far more interesting when she's like the nobody, and she's just there trying to survive. All right.
And I guess we should point out on our Discord channel, you see the live show audio only thing cleverly disguised right there? If you
in all caps, yes.
Right. Yeah, if you hop into that business and listen, you'll get our audio without any delay. So, I mean, if you just want an audio-only experience, that is available.
And if you're in our Discord chat, you probably earned it.
We kind of figured out a way to make that work by force Saturday, didn't we?
Yep. Oh, the stream is having issues. How can we listen to the show? I can't remember. Was it Steve or Strider? Was one of them just like, oh, wait, if I just jump in here and mute myself, I can listen to things.
Yeah, man. That's, Jordan was using Discord for audio over LTE plugged into a mixer, so...
Yep. He used a combo 3.5-inch to plugged into his phone, then the splitter to his mixer, and just, it worked. I mean, kudos to the Android folk who designed that to even be possible, because, hey, it worked.
Well, kudos to the Discord lot, because that
And
app
the
worked
Discord lot,
compared
yes.
to... they tried to use the Skype, which we're going to be talking about during the show. Skype was auto-gaining some weird... I mean, it sounded like it was a ground loop. It was pretty miserable. Yeah, we do have Discord
There's
audio.
a hippie chick, yes.
It's at 64K, so... Alright. Good.
Let's see. Katana Steel has a beta build of Sacred. Yeah, the reason I even got in touch with Michael Sims because of Sacred was because over here on this box, if I try to play the native Linux version of Sacred Gold or Sacred Underworld, I would get a whole 0.5 frames per second. It literally takes 2 seconds for the game to show each individual frame. But on my laptop, the gameplay is just fine. There's absolutely no issues. So I have no freaking clue what the hell was that about. Well, I have a couple of ideas, so I decided to poke them. It's like, can you check this? Because there were the laptop is using a Haswell processor, and between Haswell and Bulldozer and even Broadwell, just staying in Intel land, there were a couple of feature sets, CPU feature sets, that were dropped because they weren't being used anymore. So that could be that it was trying to emulate those feature sets just in software mode. So I was going to poke it. Was like, can you rebuild it in, say, a Broadwell machine? See if that does anything. But he said, yeah, no, I don't have the source code anymore. He mentioned someone else, but he didn't really have an email for him anymore since Linux game publishing is dead.
Well, I mean, if you get a name, we can put some people on it.
Should be in the Hangouts. Let me look it up. Let's see. Michael Sims. Clive Cruz.
Clive Cruz. If anybody knows that contact information.
Yeah. Because I remember Strider saying Strider has a Broadwell processor. And he was having the exact same issues on his box that I am having on mine. So it could be the CPU feature set that changed and that makes the game not too great to play. Well, it's literally impossible to play it.
What was Sacred about? I remember that somehow.
It's a Diablo clone. Like a Diablo 1, Diablo 2 style game. Quite literally, up to the skill tree. I mean, they did a couple of things differently, but the game played very much like Diablo.
How did they implement the DLC back then?
They just ported the gold version, which included the DLC. Yeah. And there was, I remember the biggest thing. Yeah. Strider does have issues every now and again, whether or not he admits it. And his biggest issue is actually getting out of bed, apparently.
That's all right.
Yeah, no, Sacred. I really like Sacred because it's one of those stupidly buggy games that still managed to have a bit of charm to it. Yeah.
Stupid buggy games that have charm. So the
Bound by Flame.
exact opposite of golf with your friends, right?
Well, half the opposite.
Well, I don't know. Golf with your friends starts off with like, oh, it's kind of broke. That's kind of cute. Then it just went to where this
just broken.
Genuinely annoying. I can't do anything, and the game's just mocking you the entire time. So,
And at one point, you just lose the ability to interact with the menus because it just does not register your mouse clicks at all.
oh, I couldn't pot. Yeah. Oh, you're hacking the corporation, man.
Haha, nice try, pizza dude.
Right.
Nice try. Again, nice try, pizza dude. That one kind of backfired on you.
Animal agrees. I saw that, and I want to be impressed, but I also want to get the source video and look at it for trickery. I don't trust things on the internet anymore.
Yeah.
That's doable, and it looks like the kids are of the right age to sit.
To have the time to do it, yeah. I mean, even if... Okay, let's say they got the dishes in the right position relatively quickly. It's just the angle with that first throw has to be on point. So that took a couple of takes.
I don't know. You can find my comment on Reddit when I saw the video. I was like, it's easy. They shot it in reverse. And some people thought about that for it. I was like, wait, but that doesn't mean... Like, right. That's, yeah, see, that looks like some BS that I would have been up to at the age of whatever.
I mean, the physics, as someone who used to play ping pong back in 5th, 6th grade, around there.
Oh,
yeah,
hang
the
on.
physics look
as we
right.
go to our Portuguese bureau, we're talking to the ping pong physics expert, world-renowned Pedro Mateus.
No, I'm just saying it looks consistent with what a ping pong ball would do. Unless it had like a teeny tiny hole on it, at which point, nope. The moment it hit the first dish, it was just...
Unity 8 on Debian.
I saw a link to that. Oh yes, it is very much in chat realm static.
Okay. So, alright, if you genuinely hate yourself, this is possible, kids.
You could do it. Do you want to, though?
I don't... Well, no. Now people are going to want to do it because it's a dead project. It's, okay, yes, well, I know it's being maintained, but it's the same reason I was watching some of the retro video game people who just were constantly like, oh yeah, the Wii U is horrible, and I've listened to them for years because they cover other retro gaming stuff that I'm interested in. And then it got discontinued, and there was this massive, gotta get it now, man, it's not available anymore, it's retro, and it's like, really? That's how you lead your life? That's fascinating.
Yeah, I get the whole like nostalgia thing and wanting to preserve old systems, which is why Strider really needs to get his act together with Lutris and apply for like I don't know if that's a thing in the US, but over here, if you have something that could be used to preserve technology, you can apply for a museum type status.
Mm-hmm.
If that's a thing in the US, that's something Strider should totally do for Lutris. It's like, yeah, I'm preserving these video games. Preserving.
I like preservating. I was already working on the bit for it, but go ahead.
Preserving, yes. I'm preserving these video games for future generations. I should get, I don't know, tax break money from the state, anything.
Same reason I'm
or at least
preservating my Nexus 10 because I like to barometer things.
I just go around barometering things. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Hippie Jake has the audio without any delay.
Mm-hmm.
He's genuinely hearing it as we're saying it, so. All right. Well, it looks like Herr Commandant is not going to wake up, so.
I have poked Strider on the Hangouts. He has not replied. He has said nothing, so I'm guessing he is very much asleep and intends to. Or maybe he did find the new job and forgot to let us know.
Very.
It tried to load it.
It did.
Tried.
I guess it couldn't make up its mind. Ping or pong, man.
If you want to try Mir, sure. Give him a ring. Yeah, we know for a fact that Jordan is at work.
See, that's the thing, though. I called Jordan and was like, yo, dude. He was like, give me 20 minutes. I'll make this work. And then the MacGyver theme music, da-da-da, and he would get to work with a tape and a microphone and...
Some of the French shaped the baguettes to look like the Eiffel Tower.
Mm-hmm. Dun, dun,
dun. Wait, pregnancy pills are blue?
I don't know. Maybe they are in Africa?
Yeah, could be. Yeah. Because the one blue pill everyone thinks about is Viagra.
Viagra scare me, man. I don't mess with...
Apparently, it's really good if you're going like mountain climbing.
I don't even know where to go with that, man.
Because it improves blood flow. So in reduced oxygen environments, it keeps you oxygenated.
The joke's tsunami. It drowned me. I can't get anything out. My brain's just too many.
That's the only use for Viagra that I know of. You know, outside of the obvious one. Yeah.
Mm.
Although there is probably a joke to be made in there somewhere with climbing the Everest and sexy time.
Hmm.
Still blue pregnancy pills. That's I don't know.
It's crazy talk.
Okay. Is that? That's that.
Oh, that's Audacity, man. Audacity will spite on you when you don't need it, but you can recover projects. Most of the time. Like 90% of the time.
Audacity is the one thing to this day that still uses that frickin' ALSA plugin if you're using Pulse Audio. It's just ALSA. It just uses ALSA and nothing else.
Yeah, it does. All right. Well, I'm going to go grab a refill, and away we go.
Yep. Refill time.
Okay, so I guess I'll hang out. That was a joke. I'm totally not going to hang out, but I'll be back quicker than he will.
Refill acquired. Oh, yes, please. Post this phone number out to the internet. That will have absolutely no consequences whatsoever. Broken escalators are just stairs. God damn it, Linux knew. Let's see. So Mir tried to call Strider, he hung up on him. Good times. So either Strider is now rushing to sit at his PC, or... I don't think it works like that, Steve. Never really thought about escalators. It's just a thing that happens. They're there, and I put my feet on them, and they take me up or down. I'm lazy, so in that way, I kind of enjoy escalators. Ah.
Now I'm trying to figure out. Trying to avoid going outside,
Mm-hmm.
but it sounded, that beeping noise they make when larger things back up.
Oh, yeah.
Where is that coming from? So, yeah, I creeped out all the windows. And I'm like, what? I couldn't find out. I gave up. my curiosity didn't.
I can't hear anything, so it's probably fine.
I wasn't even worried about that. It was 100% like, what is that?
I know every now and again, whenever there's like construction or anything happening nearby, Portuguese drivers like to just abandon their stuff in gear. Even with the engine off, it still beeps unless you turn the key all the way down. It's like, beep, beep. Really? And it just stays there for like 5 minutes. And then they eventually realize, oh yeah, I probably should turn that off.
Let's see.
I know my car does a little bit of the beeps, but that's when I open the door with the engine shut off, but the light's still on. It's like, yo, forget the lights.
Turbo Jetta only lights up if I'm moving it around. And really, the only time I notice this is if I'm in a parking lot moving from like one side to another.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I'm just in my driveway moving it around. If you get above like not kilometers an hour, And you don't have the
Oh yeah,
seatbelt
the
plugged in.
seatbelt thing. Yeah.
It was like, what?
It's that one beeps too, but it's if you go above 20 kilometers an hour, so like 8 miles an hour. No, it's more than that. 12, 14, something like that. Let's ask Google. 20 kilometers an hour in mph. 1242, yes.
Hmm. Right. So I think we are good to go.
Indeed.
Click there and Turtles Through Space, man. I'd go watch a show by Turtles Through Space. Might be pretty cool.
Just making sure that was muted.
They must be doing road construction or something, man.
Could be, yeah.
I don't know. It's that horrible part of my brain that has caused so many accidents. It's like, go find out what it is. Go poke it with a stick. Kick it in its junk. And I'm just like, no, leave it alone. All right. Terry Pratchett.
Too late now.
Yeah, I've already started now. It's all right. Let's see. It's loaded. It's loaded. Boom. Stretching. You feeling it? Let's do it.
Kick it.
And welcome back to Linux Weekly Daily Wednesdays, where we're taking that midweek break to cover all the fun stuff that we found going on in the world of Linux. We try to do this in under 30 minutes or more, and that's a guarantee. And this week is no exception, but we're going to be talking about adjusting audio volumes. With Pulse Audio, you know, that can definitely be a nightmare, but we do believe, just maybe, we found a solution. And do you personally find the Raspberry just a little too mainstream? Well, the ZBerry might be worth a look.
The version of Skype which still worked is dying. Microsoft is pulling the plug on July 1st, and GitHub did a survey. You too can find a reason to be all up in arms about it.
Sounds fascinating. Let's get right into it. Humbly boondly. That's right, Linux and open source. Pay what you want. 6 days remaining. Plenty of time to get in on this action. Linux books. Tell me about it. Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's literally a collection of books. If you pay $1, you get ProGit, the Ansible from Beginner to Pro, and the Certified OpenStack Administrator Study Guide. If you pay more than $8, you get to learn how to quit Vim. You get the practical LPIC 1 Linux certification study guide.
You know, I was about to start talking some smacks. Like, I don't ever read books anymore. It's like Nginx. I was like, I need to learn Nginx. So
yeah, and there's one book there which is the Beginning Ubuntu for Windows and Mac users. Yes,
hey,
and
look,
if you pay more than
I didn't know Orrin wrote a book.
Yes, it's written entirely in Bangladeshi. Good luck. But yeah, you at the $15 level, you get 4 more books, which include the ProDocker, Practical Linux Topics, and the Linux High Availability Clustering one. So if you're not picky about your reading medium, because I know there are some people around who just can't read something unless it's a physical book. So if you're not picky about that and you don't mind ebooks, this is $15 well spent.
I'm always looking forward to stuff like that. Again, physical books. Oh, the second I didn't have to have physical books, absolutely 100% ecstatic about that, and I have tablets everywhere because of that reason. And anytime anyone's, why do you hate trees, is what I say half jokingly. Cool bundle, cool beans, and okay, yeah.
Here we go.
Ubuntu 17.10. Update ditches Unity desktop, installs GNOME. Everyone's happy, Pedro. No one will complain about this whatsoever. Never. Nope.
Yeah, no one whatsoever. I mean, to be fair, it doesn't actually sack Unity from your install, assuming you're running the 17.10 dailies and your name is Strider. You will probably be just fine. It will always install GNOME alongside your current Unity session, but it won't just outright sack it. But if you are installing or thinking about installing a daily now or somewhere in the future, well, you will only get GNOME. But then again, you kind of already knew that was coming because we were screaming about it for a couple of weeks.
Terribly nonplussed about this because I know people are just tied up with, Unity is no longer a thing, so everyone loves Unity now all of a sudden. Still being maintained. They did fantastic work on it. It never got there. Moving over to GNOME. And all this fun stuff. It doesn't matter. I mean, seriously, because if you're judging a distribution by whatever desktop manager it ships, I mean, something has just genuinely went horribly wrong in your life, Pedro.
No. If you need a new theme, you're going to have to regenerate an ISO and install that. Mm-hmm. That's how you put a new theme in your Linux box.
Yeah. But hey, man, it doesn't nope it. You can put it back in. And I know some people are, for whatever bizarre reason, I'm not hating on Unity, like it and want to keep rocking with it. So there's a heads up because somebody's going to be installing that. Going, where's my popcorn? I don't understand how to use this Moon interface on all these other DMs that resemble all the other ones. It's kind of brilliant. But hey, what's going on here, man?
This is Skype. The 4.3 version is going away. Yes, the one we're using right now for audio. Mm-hmm. It's dying. Microsoft put up a notice thing on the website that says, important notice, all Skype for Linux clients version 4.3 and older will be retired on July 1st, 2017. To keep chatting, please install the latest version of Skype for Linux. And they mean the Electron version. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The one that keeps messing with your audio configurations. Yeah. Good times.
Wait. So is Microsoft trying to tell us that we need to pretend that the 5X beta that they currently have is completely ready, completely baked, and absolutely not just a steaming pile of nope sauce? Is that what they're trying to?
That's what they want you to believe. Okay, yes, of course. That is all a load of BS.
Now, it is kind of fascinating if you follow us on the social medias or the Twitters and all that. They did send out a warning email. I believe it was on Monday.
Yep.
It didn't mention anything about Linux in the warning email. It just didn't. It wasn't there, which has led. I was reading some of the speculation on Linux, on the Reddits. It's like, well, maybe they'll just keep it running. Yeah, don't plan on that.
No. In the email they say that they will be shutting down the Windows Phone, Windows RT, and a few other versions down, also on July 1st. So it's probably everything that is still using the old peer-to-peer servers is going down.
I think it's going to be fun, though. They're going to find out how many decision makers in companies run Linux and are still reliant on that client. I think they're genuine. That's going to happen. I could be completely wrong, like I'm about most things. So, why do you have such a raging clue about this Telegram thing, though?
Well, I did mention Telegram in the notes because Telegram recently added voice communication to the desktop client. The mobile client has already had it for a couple of months, but the desktop client now supports it, and it's not an Electron app. So maybe it could be a thing that we could try. That's kind of the reason I'm curious about it. I haven't tried it yet, and I want to see just how good it sounds. I mean, they keep touting, oh, it's got an AI thing that regulates your audio quality depending on your bandwidth. And okay, curious.
Well, I mean, that could work if it works right.
If it works,
but
yeah.
All the Electrons, we have Jitsi, we have Discord. We had to use Discord for JBaby. Saturday, sounded all right. Even Skype, it's another Electron thing. And one of the biggest issues Linux users face with everything you can basically mention that is WebRTC is AGC. Auto gain control. It's built in. It's something you should be able. Good job on Discord. There's a button, disable auto gain control, and you can do it. A lot of the others you can't, and you wonder why everyone's audio goes all nightmare fuel on you. That's the reason. And you can open up Pavu control and set it and give it a minute. I mean, it's trying to maintain at a constant volume, and it just sucks doing it. It's horrible at it. It's like Hangouts, good example of that. But I just wanted to bring this up since I know a lot of people are going to be shooping around. Is nzed.net. I mean, I just found this. This was in like a Stack Exchange conversation. It wasn't one of the first results on Google. Here's a way to do it with Pulse Audio, with Perl, and the best I can tell so far, Pedro, it works. It actually works. So it's going to nope your mic boost, your mic gain, and when you set it in Pavu control, it's going to stay that way.
That's really good. Yeah, no, I did run the Perl script. The first 3 scripts that he gives you there. The first one makes a backup of the original file, always good practice. The second one actually replaces all of the volume values, which are usually merge by default, and it replaces that with 0. So everything is at 0, which means that there is no mic boost going anywhere. And the last one is just a diff. It's just a diff command, so you can see the differences where it changed everything. That's how you can see that it changed from merge to 0. So, I mean, it works. The script does what it says it'll do. Remains to be seen how far you have to poke Pulse Audio with Chrome or Firefox or some random Electron app to for it to start happening again.
Definitely going to be playing around with that, and we will report back. Even if you do try this and it does work swimmingly for you, do keep in mind this is something you'll have to reapply if Pulse gets upgraded. I'm almost positive. So,
all right. So let's go back to when was this deprecated? To 2013. The last version came out in 2006. Yes, we're talking about IRIX and the Indigo Magic Desktop, or the IRIX Magic Desktop as it was called later on. Now has a Linux version. Yep, the story comes from the Register, and it has been released as the Max interactive desktop. You can find it at the website. Now, when it was first released, the website took a bit of a beating and it went down, but it's back up now. It just takes a little while to load, but once it loads, you can access it. It downloads a little SH script, which the first thing I did, again, always good practice, just open up that SH script, see what it downloads. So I saw a couple of links there. I went to those links, found the repo that it was downloading stuff from, and boom, it installs. Currently, it's meant for Fedora 25, but it also works in Ubuntu. On my end, I had a couple of issues. Namely, Firefox, if you remember those old screenshots of Windows when you started dragging an error window and there would be window smearing all over the place, that was basically my Firefox window. And there's tearing. Just moving the window around causes so much tearing that I could not unsee it.
All I'm hearing is you're saying it delivers an authentic experience.
Yeah, it very much does, yes.
I gotta say, I really didn't want to gloss over the fact that, as it says, this is designed to run on Fedora, because you might as well just pick up a Fixie and a pack of American Spirits while you're at it if you want to revisit the bad old days. I vaguely remember poking at this on my mom's work machine, which was, she had an Indigo at one time, but eventually an Octane, or it might have been backwards. Oh, okay. And yeah, XFC is better still, but go check it out. I mean, if you want to relive the bad old days, or security through obscurity.
Yeah.
Somebody pops that up. What do you think? What do you think the odds are of them figuring anything out?
No, chances are they will look at the running processes list and go, "What is this? This isn't Linux. I don't know what to do with this," and they'll just walk away.
Or
hopefully.
better yet, put Hannah Montana Linux on, and they will just run away screeching, kick down your door, and you'll never see them again. I mean, it's an anti-theft device for your computer.
Yep.
Hey.
Okay, so someone embraced open source.
Oh, yeah, baby. Coming
Yep.
up. Toyota.
There it is.
Yeah, car company. Open source software, all new approach in fast car tech. Yeah, this is really a thing because it's called automotive grade Linux, and we kind of hope it's just going to have a bright and long future. Because in the world of autonomous driving, this is very much needed. Seriously, I don't know about you, but I personally don't want to be driven around by something controlled by a black box. No, not my cup of tea. But, this is only going to be a good thing, Pedro. This is only going to be a good thing if they comply with the GPL, man.
Not necessarily. They could use literally anything else, because the GPL, as good as it is in protecting what Richard Stallman calls...
So you're immediately thinking they're all going to go for like a BSD, anything. It's going to be BSD style licensing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it's either that, or if they want to make sure that no one makes a profit out of it, they'll probably go MIT. I honestly don't know. We'll have to see. But there will, of course, since it's running Linux, chances are there will be a little bit of GPL in there at the very least. But it's good on Toyota for actually embracing the open source.
Yeah, I mean, they're working on the platform with Mazda, Suzuki, Daimler. All right.
Japan. So Japan is going, yeah, we like this Linux thing. That's good.
That just kind of makes me happy when you see stuff like that. And I think that's one thing the automotive industry just doesn't understand. One thing we want, all right, choice is bad enough having to deal between or knowing how to fully operate an iDevice and an Android device to be able to get around both of those with any efficiency. Every motoring vehicle you currently get in has its own specialized moon interface. And most of us are sitting back just like, let me just cast my Android or my...
Nope. You either install the companion app or it's just not even going to sync up. You may get lucky and be able to do Bluetooth for calls, but even then, that is a bit of a crapshoot.
Okay. So, I think Joel kicked us a little thing with a...
Yes, a
error
little
track.
bit of a link to the errors.ubuntu.com website. And it's a little visual representation of all the errors that have been reported over the past, you can actually set the, if you scroll down the page, you get a little table that you could set whether it's from the past day, how many errors were reported. And apparently the last day, it's snap install in first, GNOME software in first, then snap install as a second and third.
Oh, no, man, mate pedal.
Yeah. I mean, it's down to 40, so that's good enough. It's just the biggest thing that I noticed was there was a big
I don't
spike.
care. Now I know this. Now it does that. I'm just going to troll
Martin, yeah. But yeah, when Ubuntu 16.10 was released, there was a huge spike in error reports. And if you just check back on like the past year, you'll see that snap install and GNOME software just lead the charge in terms of bug reports. Specifically, first place, second place, third place, and fourth place are taken by those two. Yep.
Now, don't you think... Okay. GNOME's undergoing a lot of work. We got to be fair here. And Snap is still trying to figure out what the Snap is doing.
Snap is new, so it is to be expected that it would get a lot of bug reports. And, I mean, getting a lot of bug reports is good because it means people are actually adopting it, maybe?
Well, they're trying it. I mean, everything's worth poking with a stick at least once, right?
Yeah. But, I don't know. This is it's one of those data pages... Sorry, itchy. Back in my head. It's one of those data pages that are only really interesting if you're into the whole Ubuntu thing. For me, as a Ubuntu user, but who doesn't really care about the operating system in itself, it's just something that works.
Well,
I guess
now I just want to see one for Arch. That's it. Please, somebody make that. It'll make me all the happies. But not stir up controversy, right?
Oh, not at all. So, maybe you were one of the lucky people that GitHub got in touch with in order to fill out a bit of a insight survey over the past couple of months. I know absolutely no one who was, but apparently enough people responded that they decided to publish the results. And if you go to opensourcesurvey.org /2017, you will be able to see the results along with the colorful explanations. Suffice it to say that they managed to piss people off in every single front. So if you went on Google Plus yesterday night,
name calling, serious incidents, and stereotyping.
They identified a bunch of sticking points about projects. It's documentation. People really want documentation, turns out. Negative interactions, although infrequent, are highly visible and they have consequences to project activity. Even though open source is very widely used, you don't get a really broad contributor representation because only 3%, and this seems to be the big one,
well,
only 3...
Go ahead, hurry up.
Only 3% of all respondents are female, while there are 95% who are male, and the rest are divided between all the non-binary genders. So that was the biggest sticking point and the one that everyone seemed to grab, or at least the mainstream media. There are articles all over the place saying, 95% of GitHub is male. And yeah, everyone's up in arms, obviously. So we know how this particular song and dance goes. We'll have to wait and see over the next couple of weeks as more people look through the data and make their own conclusions instead of just taking this survey explanation at face value.
Well, I mean, what percentage is Galmachian?
I don't know.
I was kind of looking at this. Figure 5. What open source users value in software? Naturally, the first two are going to be stability and security. Mm-hmm. Okay, got that. Makes sense. Bottom of the list. On the least, this goes from least important to the most important. At the bottom of that list, the very lowest is support. So I just assume I was kind of alone with my YOLO approach of software deployment. And it's like, if it works, it works. If it breaks, I'll fix it. And
yeah, and let's face it, if stability and security are right up there and a given bit of open source software is stable and doesn't require a lot of support, then people won't care. It's kind of implied, sort of.
And I do believe they kind of pointed out something that was one of the things, it was like, this is a big issue, which is dismissive responses. Mm-hmm. You know, that right there will stagnate or just kill your project with such a quickness. And a lot of people don't realize it, because if you have somebody who's going to take the time to use your software and they care enough to send you a report and an issue with it, as soon as, if your first response is go away, and this is not how we do things. I'm like, oh, okay, well, good luck getting that up and running. But again, all this is going to be in the show notes. And you know what I'm really grateful for, Pedro?
Let's see, sliced bread.
No, you know I haven't been touching bread for months, man. Come on.
You have been getting thinner.
What I'm really grateful for is not having to read ads. And why don't we have to read ads?
Oh, we don't have to read ads because many of you decided it was a good idea to throw money at us. Well, I'm not going to say no, so please, thank you. Thank you very much, and keep throwing us some more, because we love you for throwing money at us. And if you, let's say you're watching this for the first time and you thought, maybe it's a good idea, maybe these guys needed a bit of a monetary kick to get their tushies in gear. I'm trying my best not to cuss here.
You're crazy. We should do a 30-minute show with 4 ad breaks.
No, let's just not do that, because so long as...
All right, three ad breaks in 30 minutes. I can negotiate.
Nope.
Oh, man.
So long as we keep getting monies from the peoples, we will get absolutely no ads.
Well, you keep on talking about this money stuff. It's a good thing we don't give them anything in return, though, right?
Oh, yes, we do. Because if you are our Patreon, or you give us a sufficient chunk of change, you will get access to our show notes. You will get access to our recorded Left for Brad series. You will get access to a great deal many things, including our Discord server chat window thingy, whatever you want to call it. I can't English very well today.
Pedro's not a very good salesman. Come check out that Discord business. It's where the rest of the miscreants like to hang out the other 6 days of the week. And if you just want an audio-only experience of the live stream, we have you covered in there. Just put it on your mobile, install the app, boom, put on the headphones, and you're going to rock on that show note access. That's pretty cool. Early stuff. It's brilliant. You've been helping us. And this is completely listener-funded. This show is a Patreon goal, so we have nothing but positive things to everyone who has helped us. We got affiliate links. Nail those things. That's kind of brilliant. If you want to shop through those, some people have been doing that. You're the real MVPs. And we'd have that wish list for this complete overhaul of this madness in studio. Can I get it? Yeah, I got it. So you become one of our fine young cannibals. You get a role. This will always be in the studio. You know, Bradley, Jill, and Steve, Maddie, Erod20, Michael G. have all kicked in little bits, helping this scrappy.
And one person did kick us a few shekels this week, Mr. Brian Colden. Thank you very much. Yep. So I think my issue with not being able to English very well is because I'm a little hungry. So how about you give me some of that pie?
That sounds kinky, so let's dive right into it. Upcore quad-core x86 mini PC that's smaller than a Raspberry Pi. Why should you care, Pedro?
Well, it is an x86 board that's smaller than a Raspberry Pi. It is using an Intel Atom X5Z8350, which is a quad-core processor, and you can get several different versions. The lowest end one is a 1 gigabyte of RAM, 16 gigs of eMMC storage.
Now, so, I'm looking at this, right, so this is stackable.
Oh, yes. You can, because of all the GPIO pins, you can actually stack several different modules together to give you all the functionality you need, which is a really neat idea until you consider that this is an x86 part.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's 5-volt DC, so...
Yeah, and those 5 volts are going to probably translate into, like, let's say 5 watts at idle, 15 watts under stress. That's heat that's going to build up.
Well, I mean, here's the little thing. I saw, I think it was Theron that asked, doesn't have video. I would assume it does since it has an HDMI port. If not, they are maximum trolling on that.
Of course, it has to have video. It's an Intel Atom part.
Oh, okay. Man, I don't know. It's teeny tiny, but all right. Admittedly, when I first looked at it, I was sitting there. I was like, oh, you can stack them. I was like, oh, can you make it fall over? That's kind of cool. That's kind of novel. That's a bit neat, and it's also going to make it a collector's item. So buy a bunch of those expansion boards, wait 30 years, and you can sell them for a profit. But then I was, so you're going to be able to stack that to the point where you've created a thermal sandwich of nope. And that, yeah.
And Strider actually made a good point in the notes. It's x86. It's going to draw considerably more power than a Raspberry Pi would on accounts of ARM being that much more efficient. But I guess you're trading a little bit of efficiency for support because x86 supports everything that you use.
Yeah, Narland, they said the base model is going to be about 70 wet, stinky American caches. Yeah. So that actually is out of my pick one up to maybe open the box category. I don't know about you.
Just look at the box and say, neat, corner.
Right. I'm totally not saying I've done that with Raspberry Pis, but totally.
Well, let's just say you're one of those people who finds the Raspberry Pi a little too powerful.
Too mainstream, man.
Or mainstream, yes.
Man, have you ever wanted to build a Z80-based Raspberry Pi lookalike? Never thought I'd get to say that sentence, but yeah, the Zberry. It's here, man. It's homebrew computers are a thing, and yep, Zilog Z80. Most popular choice for making one on your own. Okay, yeah. So outside of this exists,
The neat factor is there, but I don't know exactly what you'd want to do with a Z80 CPU running at 10 megahertz. But wait, there's a 20 megahertz version available with they have 512 kilobytes of RAM, and you have a 32 kilobyte ROM.
I mean, if you're trying to create a retro solution to a modern platform, now I know that there's such a thing called a FAP80, and I want that now for all the wrong reasons. No, man. I mean, Z80 CPU, 10 megahertz base, 20. You can overclock it. That 32K ROM, 512K RAM. All right. I want to take the Pepsi challenge on this because I'm almost willing to bet if this thing's out. I didn't just got this in to know about it anyway. But I'm almost willing by the end of the month we're going to see CPM running on this thing.
Oh, probably. It's the moment anyone or this reaches any sort of mass market that someone's going to get it running. It's just it's just not even an issue. I'm just it has a PS2 port in case you need to plug in a keyboard in order to boot it properly.
That's for high-speed data transfer.
They say it supports a PS2 keyboard. But yeah, no, it's the neat factor is there. Why you'd want to use it, I don't know.
Okay, that's the thing. Hey, we like talking to you, and that's going to wrap this show up. But before we get out of here, we got a little bit of feedback. If you want to send us some feedback, it's got a brilliant linuxgamecast.com. Hit that contact button, fill it out. You know you can do it. It's kind of brilliant, and we'll probably get back to you. You can leave us a comment on YouTube videos if you decide to watch that. Not many people watch the YouTube. Everyone listens to the audio versions of this show. You can put it there, but there's no 100% guarantee. If your Patreon, of course, posted on the video, and we will get back to you in order. But let's wrap this up. I'll read this because Pedro's going to reply. I decided to title this one "Re." From help me out on this name, El Pedro.
Trajan Augustus, the dead Roman emperor.
Beats me, man. Pedro comes across as a passive-aggressive, limp-wristed beta male with a face that begs you to punch it repeatedly. Then there's that voice. That hurts my fifis. When somebody brings up somebody else's voice and I'm not included.
Well, whoever you are, because you decided to hide behind the name of a dead Roman emperor, so big words there. Yeah, internet badass. If you want to actually get a proper reply, you can go to the show notes and read it, because I took the time to actually reply to you.
It's kind of brilliant. It's scandalous. Yeah, you definitely want to get into that. But yeah, that's like a 2 out of 10. Weak troll, man. We expect.
Yeah, Monster
better.
Cameron's been. Well, let's just say every now and again he manages to be really good with the trolling.
No, Monster Cameron's been bringing his A game for so long. Even his weak stuff makes this is still amateur hour. So.
Yep.
All right. Coming up next,
this is about the thing we talked about. The Max Magic Desktop from IREX. Our Theron is telling us about it. Hey guys, found this while surfing the net. Looks like the old desktop environments from 2000. Installer is now only for Fedora. Great show as always. Ouch. Ouch.
See, this I've always suspected he just types in IRC and never watches this.
Could be, yes.
No, then.
But hey, there it is.
Yeah.
It's running.
He's like, hey, I got it up and running. Yeah, both of you are certifiable, is what both of you are. That okay. So, okay, you basically your tool chest. So this kind of looks like a workbench-ish. Now, this is when IREX was okay. We want to get into the desktop, industrial, desktop type stuff. Work production and all that. It really has. The more I'm looking at it. Has more of a afterstep kind of vibe to it.
It feels very BIOS-y. It looks like the default BIOS, the latter BIOS theme. So yeah, it's just old stuff. Again, neat. I tried it. I already gave my my opinion on that during that particular story, but it's just neat.
And hey, man, I mean, just don't hold your breath, because I'm sure that Duke boy will try to use it exclusively for a month any day now. It will be a thing.
Yep.
What do we got?
Okay, so this is my turn to read because
Thanks, because
Venn
my
is going to
brain
have to
has
reply.
actively rejected this the 2 times I've tried to read it.
You don't have to read this if it's too long, but can you add description for MTs on your wish list so we know what they do? Also, can magic $signs instead of Amazon account?
Did you get anything out of that?
Okay, first off, I want to know what a MT is. I don't know what MT, IMT. I don't know what that is. I had a look at the wish list. I didn't see anything that could even be.
All right,
acronym
let's see
does
if we can,
that.
let's see if we can get it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 5 letters.
MTs. I have no idea, and I'm assuming
mites,
mites,
items.
items,
IT,
items.
Wait, hang on. ITE.
Yes.
Woof.
Okay,
If that's
yes,
items,
items. It is items. Yeah. So a description for the items, so that when people buy it, they know what they're going to be used for. Okay, right. And I'm assuming the magic $signs are magical internet monies, but they want to use, Sarah wants to use magical internet monies to buy the wish list stuff, but Amazon doesn't let it do it.
Descriptions on I think we
Yeah, you can add descriptions to
Okay.
your Amazon wish list.
we can. I'm not I'm not opposed to it. Bitcoin, Amazon. If you send us a Bitcoin, or I guess,
Yeah, if you send us a Bitcoin, we can use it to buy the stuff.
let's be honest. If you send us a Bitcoin right now with the current price, that's the entire wish list, and you just own the rest of the fine upstanding cannibal board. That's, and you can put any business name or whatever you want on that. That's a great marketing deal. Yeah, if you just want to contact us beforehand and tell us the amount and all that,
Yeah.
it's a bit more round away, because we can go to a purse dot whatever. It's a Bay Area company. It's not like Frank's Bitcoin Trade-O-Rama, that's only available on what's it called? Derp Onion. On the dark net. I mean, I'm sorry, my reporter voice, and the dark web. So yeah, that's legit. We'll work around it, man, because anybody that is like, hey man, this is a weird thing. We like doing this, and this is all done with your support. So yeah, we'll work with you. But I think that's gonna do it.
Yeah, it does. I think this about wraps us up. Thank you all very much. If you're a Patreon, thank you. Seriously. And we are, well, we'll be back. Probably Venn will be back tomorrow for some streaming. I will be back on Saturday for Linux Gamecast Weekly with Venn and Jordan. And maybe you'd like to join us for that show live so we can play some fidget games afterwards. Sound good?
It's going to
Okay.
be terrifying. Stay tuned for that. Not like major groundbreaking developments, but we got some feedback. That's going to be some interesting. We're going to need your input on it, and it's going to be brilliant. But if you want to check us out, linuxgamecast.com, all that brilliant stuff's there. We do what we do. If you're watching this on YouTube and like, man, this would make a really good audio pod, go to linuxgamecast.com. I know it's not straightforward. And there's a category, and we have an audio RSS feed that you can put into your Podcatchomatic 9000, and it'll work just like everything else. So, at Vinstone, Twitter, plus Vinstone, Google Plus.
Yes, I am Pedro Matos. You can find me at Unaccounted For on Twitter, plus Pedro Matos on Google Plus.
Okay. See you till next week. Cheers.
Bye.
Doop-de-doo.
Yep. Well, Not a Duck says Amazon DE is the most used Amazon in continental Europe. When the only other alternative is Amazon Spain, that's not a big win. Well, there's France too, right?
Oh,
They have-
man. The Amazon, all right, all I know is the associate site for Amazon.fr is straight out of 1999. I am genuinely surprised I have not found a section that uses frames.
I remember getting a school assignment in secondary school about building a website with frames.
Remember frames were a thing, man. Using Netscape Composer.
Yep. Netscape Composer, Microsoft's front page. There are a few others.
Never had front page, dog.
Yeah, my assignments were most, do this in front page, because we didn't really know anything else at the time.
The worst nightmare fuel I was ever forced to work with was Dreamweaver.
That's the Adobe one, right?
Macromedia at the time, but yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which they called my mom. I was like, I am not using Windows. They bought me a Power Mac Tower. I was like, ooh, all right. I'll take that.
Google released a WYSIWYG editor with a timeline and everything. No one's ever used it.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I remember while I was working at Pedro and I set up the server and I wanted to make like a neat little web front end so that my boss could log in and have a look at things. I looked for WYSIWYG editors that worked on Linux and I found a Google one. I ended up not using it because I could wrap my head around it, but I guess that explains why people don't use it, yeah.
I don't know, man. The thought of doing any type of web development, just no. I mean, front-end stuff.
Yeah.
I guess there's a slim chance I could be talked into doing something, but outside of our web zone?
Well, there's a very not so slim chance I could be talked into it if people pay me.
Oh, that's a different story.
Yeah. If there's money on the line, I'll do it. No issues.
Let's see, not that anybody would notice, but I completely overhauled WordPress's search function, so we have a search that kind of works now.
I always just search for the name of the game, and it would eventually lead me to the right place.
It also doesn't take a month to do the query.
Oh yeah, no, it took a while.
This thing actually,
It always took a while.
This one builds an index.
Okay, cool.
Instead of just plowing through a 400 megabyte SQL file at the speed of smell. Yeah, Katata, CDE, man. I mean, I bought a copy of CDE for Linux way back when.
CD. I've only ever seen CD, never really used it.
It's great.
Oh yeah, XFCE is just way too feature complete.
XFCE
It does
works,
everything
man.
you want it to. No.
Yeah, they eventually open sourced it, man. After they realized no one's buying this. CD was came with Solaris for the longest time. Then Solaris started shipping with GNOME too. I'm sorry. Ultra, on the Ultra series too. It's not powerful enough to run. No, I mean it could run it, but you know, then there's technically saying, you know, it launched.
Mm-hmm.
It's like trying to run Firefox on an Ultra 5 or an Ultra 10. Yeah, it launches eventually, but broken.
It takes a full second on my netbook for Firefox, the Firefox window to even show up.
You know, you almost want to like crack open HTOP if your browser window isn't open by the time
You click.
The micro switch is fully depressed. You're like, something going on here, man?
Yeah, no, it's a 1.2 gigahertz single core AMD processor. So yeah,
I might do it.
even with the Kingston V300 SSD that's currently in there, it completely removes the bottleneck from the setup bit. It's just the processor. That's the only thing bottlenecking this box is the processor.
Well, don't worry. Soon you'll have $800 Threadrippers.
Oh yes. Have you seen the motherboards?
Of course.
I looked at it as like, wait, is that a mini ITX motherboard off to the side? Wow. That's the socket is the size of the other motherboard.
What? I mean, it's not quite as big as some server Movos, but I mean, it's got some heft to it.
It's eATX.
So, I mean, and then Intel with the i9s they're going to have chips that like, some of the DIMM slots are going to work, maybe.
Yeah. Because it's all the same chip, but some of those pins are disabled. They don't do anything. So figure out which of the DIMMs work now.
I think it might have been on PC Pro. Somebody said, really good idea if you're a motherboard manufacturer. You need some red and green LEDs on those DIMM slots.
Yeah, they mentioned that. Yeah.
If it lights up green, good, but...
Yeah, because if you're selling a motherboard that supports everything from the i3, the teeny tiny low end one that only uses 25 or 2055 pins, and the big ones that use the 3000 or 4000, however many pins it has, you need to account for both of those because it's the same socket, it's the same chipset. But if people buy the i3, you need those LEDs there. You need to tell people which of the DIMM slots actually work.
It's going to be some... I mean, it's interesting to see Intel roll something out that's a little bit of jank.
I mean, for once it's Intel that's rolling something out and people are asking, why? What are you doing? What?
And then something... No, this is not a flashback from the late 90s. You need a dongle to unlock RAID.
Oh, yeah.
Because they didn't want to compete with their enterprise parts. What does it not? What RAID does it not have? RAID 5 on it or something? No, it would definitely have to have RAID 5. What?
Yeah. RAID 5, RAID 1, and RAID YOLO.
Dongle. Jeez, what were we going for there?
Con the goal.
I don't know. Even Google's like, I don't know, man.
Core i9, it was there. Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, it's RAID, YOLO RAID.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so it's just YOLO, right? Oh, M.2 NVMe YOLO RAID. Okay. Yeah, that Asus card, I want one of those.
Yeah, Doc, I mean, it could be dongle. Well, here's exactly what it's going to be because maybe or maybe not you were around in the... those things are pretty easy to clone. But yeah, that's a dick move.
It's a glorified jumper. It's what it is.
Well, even back to them, it's like, okay, just laser off the Xeon and put i9 on it. And it's like, yeah, all right. But we can't find a way to cripple it further, Captain. Like, wait a minute.
I know. Right. Bring back jumpers.
It's effectively.
Yeah, there's a reason that Apple only uses Intel processors, right?
Because Intel cannot deal deal. I don't know.
No, it's the dongle business. Because now you need a dongle for everything plugged into a Mac. But apparently they announced a powerful enough iMac Pro that Valve finally said, yeah, sure, you can have Steam VR on Mac now.
You know, it's kind of a surreal, fantastic world, and it's like, oh, Mac finally got VR?
Yeah.
No.
Linux got VR before Mac.
Not saying we got a completely flushed out implementation of VR and Steam, but we had something.
No, it sort of works for some people. Yeah.
I don't know. Just, well, once VR, again, like I said, sunglasses.
Yeah. You need something that's that.
And it's
Or
not necessarily
not that.
the size. It's it has to be as easy as like bloop, bloop, done. All right, now let's put this on. All right, and make sure everyone's recording because you're still
going to walk into a wall.
You're gonna hurt yourself in dramatic and new and fascinating ways. This will happen. Have no illusions.
You're going to walk into a wall. You're going to lean on a table that isn't there. You're going to do something.
Oh yeah, that. Because your brain eventually just taps out and is like, okay, I'll buy this.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy this. And you're like, oh, let's lean on this pool.
That's the thing that they're hoping will sell VR. It's the whole immersion thing because you're literally alienated from everything else, and it's just that. You only see that, so your brain goes, oh, okay, we're in here now. This is a thing. And then you lean on a table that isn't there.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, maybe, I don't know. Third generation, fourth generation. I think we're going to see a lot more done in AR.
Yeah.
Because, whatever Apple did, and that's one thing they announced at their developers conference was their new software does room sensing. For augmented reality where you don't need lighthouses or anything like that. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because you don't need to set up extra stuff.
You could just have a camera that's got enough sensors in it to measure distances and everything.
Right. Or whatever the way it's doing it. It's like,
Or however it's doing it because it's Apple and we'll never know.
They were demoing. Look how much better Pokemon Go is. It's like, oh man, they don't know. People don't play that anymore. I guess some people still play it. I don't know. I'm glad people play it.
It's still a thing, the same way that Ingress is still a thing.
It gets people out of the house, out and moving, and that's great. Because the only time you see Pedro move anywhere is when he goes outside to have a smoke.
Yeah. Pretty much. Or I sit in my car and I go to the drive-thru on Burger King or McDonald's and come back.
And he puts on this ridiculous like sweatbands and stuff too. He's like, I'm going out for a workout, man.
Not sweatpants, but I will wear the sunglasses. Just because there are, there aren't a whole lot of tall buildings here, so there's a lot of sun all over the place.
You did such a delightfully poor job of explaining that, but I'll allow it.
I can't English very well today. I don't know what the hell's wrong with my brain, but there's something missing. I don't know. Macross.
I don't know, man. It's yeah, I didn't watch much of the developers conference. I just caught bits and pieces, and I don't know. I mean, if you like Mac hardware and that's your jam, go for it.
I loaded up the link. You posted the link on G+. I loaded it up on VLC, and it's like, and now, to start us off, we're going to talk about tvOS. Click. I'm going to go do something else.
That is one thing that if it's finally getting Amazon and Apple TV, it's like, welcome to 3 years ago, man. That, wow. Oh, yeah. Oh, that irritated me. I posted that for everyone because it took me a hot minute to get that. I went to their web zone and was like, all right, let's check out this WWDC thing. This website only works with a Safari and IE.
I guess.
I did not have words to communicate. What, what WAT did not convey what was going on there. And I was like, okay, we're going to figure this out. So I got the M38 or whatever it was, ripped that sucker out and posted it all over the internet. And I was like, there we go. Everyone go watch it through VLC.
Yeah, it's just it's an MPEG playlist format. M3U8.
I did have a good laugh. I saw Farrell because Farrell had a slide apparently at WWDC, and where they were quoted from Vulcan days. Like, yes, Metal will allow us to do on Mac games that wouldn't be possible. I was like, because they couldn't say what they wanted to was because Apple came up with this Metal bullshit. Didn't use Vulcan. We have to completely rework and do two separate things. Mm-hmm.
And Farrell's, the bulk of Farrell's revenue still comes from people buying games on Mac. So, yeah.
Yeah, but you can't do much gaming on Mac.
No. The best thing you can get, let's see, the best, unless you build a Hackintosh, the best GPU you can get is an R9 Furry X. And whatever i7 that particular Mac comes with. And the OpenGL implementation is stuck on an incomplete version of 4.2 or 4.1, something like that.
I don't know.
HFS, yeah. HFS is also a pretty big bottleneck when it comes to I/O. Yes, the R9 Furry X.
Here's we did some cleaning.
Oh, yeah.
This is the only Mac I have right here. I think Mir spotted it. This is just the little, they don't even really want to call it a closet here in the studios. It's just like the tech of cables and crap.
Is that a VGA cable?
Dude, there's
Yes,
an ultra wide SCSI 2 cable, external, VGA cables, power, got a KVM switch in there somewhere, 2 or 3, actually 2 KVMs in there. Mostly power cables. This is the original Linksys router with just one. This is the internet, is what you should refer to.
The internet, yes.
To the left of that is an external LTP port, printer port, SiQuest 1 gigabyte drive. And let's see, what's on top of that? ADSL modem, switches. I think both of those are switches. The brown box here is a fuel pump for a Porsche 944. Don't ask me.
The one you didn't install?
Yep, I found it, by the way. Let's see. Motherboards, old. Okay, what you don't see, this closet is, whoom, it does go way over to the right. Because they're inside over here to the right are about 9 mid-tower and full-tower PC cases stacked up. You can see a little piece of one there. Back here, that's a touchscreen. That's an ELO color-calibrated touchscreen that somebody gave me that I plugged up, and it does have Linux drivers, but I just could never... all right, I take that back. I got it working once, put Google Earth on it, spun the globe, and I was like, all right, that's neat. And it's just one of those things, man.
If I had a touchscreen, I would probably have futzed with it until it broke.
Well, I mean, it's like 3 or 4 years ago, man. Plus...
Was it at least capacitive, or was it still resistive?
Got a piece of glass over it, so...
Probably resistive.
Gonna go resistive? Because it was... that, and it's 4x3, but it was an art screen. It was what I like to call a Michaud.
Because Scott has one of those.
Going to like $3,000 is what he's...
Yeah. It's the one that I showed Nora, and she's like, "Yeah, what one of those? You got 3,000 euros laying about? Yeah, no."
See, I can just look over stuff like that. It's like, yeah, I'll never spend that money. It'll never happen.
Yeah, the only reason I even got these screens were because okay, they're IPS, they're under 200 euros, and the white versions are 10 euros cheaper than the black versions. So yeah.
I've never understood that. And so many companies have adopted that. Do you want it in black? Well, that's going to cost extra.
And Zalman did the exact same thing with these cases. The black version is 5 euros more expensive than the white version.
I was like, yeah, you know how much more expensive it's going to be? What? However long it takes me to disassemble it, go buy a can of Krylon and some clear coat. That's how long it's going to take because I'm going to buy whatever color is the cheapest, and it's going to be the black version about 2 days after I get done buying it. Well, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, the monitors, admittedly, they look nice.
Or if you have a good TN panels are fine.
If you get one of the high-end TN panels, the colors look similar enough to IPS, unless you're looking at them side by side, at which point, yeah, that looks washed out. But yeah, no, IPS for games,
and you really
these are fine.
From an angle, but yeah, with TN panels have a much higher response time than IPS panels. So when it comes to like blurring and stuff like that, yeah, you want a TN panel. You don't want an IPS panel.
Yeah, make sure you get an IPS panel that has less than 5 milliseconds response time, because TN is usually in between 1 and 2.
I think this one is like 0.1 something. It might be 0.2.
Okay, they're even faster now. So yeah, but you will get ghosting if there are high contrast things happening. You can see the ghosting, but I like the all the pretty colors.
I can overlook a lot of stuff because I mean I had Trinitron monitors, the flat glass ones, which had 2 lines going through, one through the top, one through the bottom. They all did, and you had to not see them. So you could have that flat piece of glass.
Yes, they're there. Just ignore them.
Mm-hmm. Couldn't focus on them, and I mean anybody with a little bit of ADD could not deal with those.
But yeah, no, for most games, that's actually fine for every single game I've played up to this point. The only thing that causes an issue is if you're trying to watch something in black and white. The ghosting can become so bad that you can't make out what's happening.
I mean, I've never noticed. I mean, I got like an OG first-gen Asus 27-inch IPS monitor here. That's why I keep looking. I've been doing this while Pedro's talking. I was like, is there that much of difference? And they look about the same. I mean, I think this one looks sharper because it is just a 1080p panel.
Yeah.
because this one, my 28-inch UHD is running in 1080p right now, but if I kick that sucker into 3840 by 2160, this 1080p over IPS looks blurry.
Yeah. I mean, these are 23-inch 1080p screens, so it's got a nice pixel density. They look good. And then I got the tablet, which is an 8-inch, and there goes Jitsi, which is an 8-inch 1920 by 1200 screen, also IPS. And when I first got that tablet, I spent like an hour just futzing with it, dealing with it, just looking at it. And then I looked up at the screen, it's like, when did that happen?
Well, I mean, I got this like 21-inch whatever monitor up here but it's the butter robot from Rick and Morty. It's like, what is my purpose? It's like, you just play show notes. That's the only thing that's ever put on you. So as long as I can read show notes off of it, I'm good.
Yeah. That's one of those cheapo 1366 by 768.
Some Acer widescreen monitor. It was just neat. I'd never seen a widescreen monitor that was like 21 inches that was current. You know, this isn't some antique that's like that thick. I mean, this is a modern panel. What? Okay. I mean, then again,
Yeah.
if I saw a 4x3 flat panel like they have, in all the old TV shows that were trying to be modern with 4x3 flat panel, I'd buy the hell out of one of those if I could have one of those laying around. That'd be great.
I had one of those, a Sony one, and I gave it to my little brother along with the 970 because he needed a new PC because his laptop was crap.
And you gave him a 4x3. It's like, here, play games, but don't enjoy them.
No. He can actually play most games nowadays. Still support 4x3 except for the Blizzard ones.
You gotta imagine there has to be like and you probably get your ass stomped in shooters though because you're missing chunks of the map, aren't you?
Probably. I don't know. I never really played too many games on it. It's just that was the one
I'm
monitor
saying
I
this
had.
like I didn't have 4x3 monitors up until like 7 years ago, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that is a 1680 by 1050 large flat panel 4x3 monitor.
Yeah, I have that is the only flat panel in the wall of monitor shame in one of my junk rooms. I posted a picture of that. It's got the 1680 by 1050. That was the first one I ever bought. And it was like $780. And it's like maybe 23-inch widescreen.
Mm-hmm.
It's
That one was a 21 inch or 22.
Yeah, that's the first one. It's like, man, I remembered the price on it because I had to come home, sit in a corner, and rock silently. But I drove that thing until it broke. Really, I need to replace a couple of caps on the power supply. It'd probably be good as new. I mean, it has a DVI port on it and a VGA port. It's old school.
Yeah.
No HDMI, nothing else like that.
Those were just either DVI or VGA or maybe a combination of both.
I was like, what's the rush to get off DVI? DVI works.
Mm-hmm.
Gets the job done. DisplayPort all the
And
things.
you could, in theory, plug a DVI-A into a DVI-D. You probably would have issues with the refresh rate on the monitor, but you could do it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind DisplayPort. It's the only thing I don't like about DisplayPort is the UHD monitor. The stand it's on has the spinny thing, which makes me want to use it. Not that I'll ever use it, but I just like, oh, that's neat. Right. For no reason whatsoever. And then the DisplayPort clip pops out if I turn it. Yeah.
I have one of these monitors plugged in with the DisplayPort adapter, and it's got like a clippy thing.
I just brought first world problems to the next level.
No, I have an HDMI to DisplayPort adapters because these monitors have HDMIs, they have 3 VGAs, 1 DVI, and no DisplayPorts. And the 1080 only has 1 HDMI. So I needed 1 HDMI to DisplayPort to plug in the second monitor.
I don't know how many HDMIs I have. I assume more than one.
That one just has the 1.
I think I have like 3 DisplayPort, 1 DVI.
DisplayPort, 1 DVI, and 1 HDMI.
Because, yeah, I mean, I have one on DVI, I have this one on DisplayPort, and I have the other one on HDMI. Not HDMI. Yeah, HDMI. Derp.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, no, so since it doesn't have a VGA port and I didn't feel like finding the old DVI to VGA adapters, I got a HDMI to DisplayPort adapter, but the DisplayPort actually has like a clip thingy that you click so it stays secured. Yeah.
Your 42 ink died? Yeah, so this is a problem with the 42 inks. They weren't reliable.
Yeah, the ink has died in the 3rd century.
Aztec. I don't know, man. That was a terrible mystery.
Yeah.
That's kind of stuff I watch when I go to bed, man.
It's been a while. Let's just say that they've been dead a while.
40-inch UHD TV or monitor? You know, Venn, if you just weren't so lazy and highlighted that and searched it on Google.
Mm-hmm. HDMI 2.0.
Oh, don't start this shit. Why does Vivaldi do this?
I don't know. Address.
What I need's an image. Watch. I'll show you just the ridiculous. Okay, I need an image that's not showing up. Open image, new tab. Hit advanced. Okay. Usually this works. There we go.
Because that makes sense.
Hey, man. Listen, I was proud of myself once I figured it out.
I mean, that looks like me trying to work around KDE's bullshit.
HDMI 2.0 times 3. Pretty sweet.
That looks like my old TV. And it's only slightly smaller than my old TV.
60 hertz. Reasonably priced.
Yeah, 500. That's not bad.
Yeah, it's a little used, but yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
if you wanna
used
buy
like
new,
me,
you're-
100% brand new. I'm getting mixed emotions here.
So before you order, you probably want to call them just to be sure.
Like, wait, what are you trying to tell me here? 90% of the time it's not used, 100% of the time.
I mean, we may or may not get these because they fall off the back of a truck.
Jeez. That's why I don't hate my morals, but yeah, I've had some of those deals come my way. And it's like, no, because,
The only one
no.
of those deals I ever got was for a MacBook. Not MacBook Pro, the old plasticky ones.
Clamshell.
Yeah. It was like €100, brand new. And I said, nope, no. I know exactly where you got that, and I want nothing to do with it.
That's the, I've had stuff, like even TVs, man. I'm like, dude, no. I think the favorite thing that ever happened, I was walking around downtown Atlanta outside the station. I was like, all right, gotta stretch my legs. And some dude was like in a towel basically a towel, a white towel. He's like, hey man, you want to buy a necklace? And I'm like, what the holy fuck, really?
Did you just boost that and you're punning it off right here?
And you know, the me and me just kept, it was just far off and just kept walking. And I was like, oh shit, do you take PayPal? Can I get a receipt? All right, beautiful people. It is past 4:30.
Yes, it is.
That is a healthy after showing for us, and we're gonna disappear. I think Nori's patiently waiting for dinner to be cooked.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or she's already went.
Well,
to
she hasn't said anything, so I'm guessing patient. Yes.
patient. It's like whatever. She's like, you know, you're cooking dinner when you're done. And,
That is what I do.
So I'm gonna go make a podcast, and this will be up in 2 to 3 hours. So, all right, stay metal, my friends. We'll return Saturday.
Yep.